welcome to HoodTalks. This is Joe HoodZilla, Alexander here. Co-hosting will be LilZilla, Joe Jr., aka Swag Money.
Swag Money.
Basically what HoodTalks is going to be is exactly that. We're going to talk about things that happen in an everyday life, whether it be men's health or jiu-jitsu or combative art or just little talks that you guys might chime in and say, hey, we'd like to talk about this subject. Then we can go into that subject. Right now, I'm going to turn it over to Little Swag Money because we have some little things that we're going to talk about. This is only a preview clip so that we can get used to how this works.
Yeah, so we're going to kind of wrap up the year that happened at the gym. So we're going to start off with our jiu-jitsu competitions. We had 16 tournaments this year. We did one IBJJF major. Out of those 16 tournaments, we came home with 56 gold, 65 silvers, and 36 bronze as a team, which is unremarkable because a decent, what'd you say, 85% of the team is kids?
Yeah.
That's lowballing it?
Yeah.
I mean, we had kids that went out and competed on their own, too, like Cam Collins. Kid's going to be a world champ in a couple of years. Calling it now. Anything you'd like to add to that?
No, not really. Just talk about your stats through the year.
Yeah, the stats. Quick little shout out for sub rate. We had the highest sub rate for children. Brooklyn Bloss had an 80% submission rate throughout her whole competition season. So
good job, Brooklyn.
Shout out to that. Who had the highest win rate for the children? Of course, Cam Collins. Expect anybody different? I mean, Cam's a little monster. He had 97% win rate. I think he only lost 2 matches this whole season.
Yeah, it's hard to hold that kid down. I mean, he'll pass the guard. His knee slices are impeccable. His pressure is good. He loves Barabola. He'll end up on their back quick.
Yeah, he'll get to your back regardless.
You know, he has no problem with wrestling a kid from the beginning and pulling. You know, that's a great thing.
He's good everywhere. For the adults, I had the highest submission rate, 65%. Pretty low. I think the adults need to get on the kids' standard. Yeah. You know, they were battling out 80, 79%. The highest win rate went to Jalen Yoder. He won 90% of his matches.
Yeah, good job, Jalen.
And he wasn't holding back at like small tournaments. His first tournament, he jumped into the intermediate division at Naga.
Yeah.
And just was smoking boys.
Yeah, I remember one of the little dudes, Camille, came. He's a 10th Planet guy. Really good, solid competitor. And he comes up and he's like, man, I hate going up against your white belts. They're like, you know, they feel like blue belts and purple belts every time you go up against them. And I was like, yeah. And then we ended up having Jalen having to go against him at Midwest Finishers. And I mean, it was a battle. I mean, it was a nice battle.
I think Jalen lost by like what, 2, 3
Yeah, he ended
seconds,
up pulling off second out of the whole tournament for blue belts, and he was still a white belt legitly. So
there was no white belt division, and he wanted to do it, so he just jumped in the blue belt division.
Yeah, it was a really good thing. You know, and what's really nice is, you know, like I teach our academy, it's not just about our jiu-jitsu. So when we're going out to these tournaments, you're going to have haters and you're going to have lovers. The guys that you're competing with, we want to try to make as many friendships as you can because throughout the years, you're going to be running into these people over and over. I mean, we see it with the kids class all the time. There's kids out there like Brooklyn. She has like 3 or 4 kids that she already knows, and there's a couple of them that she's just like, hey, how you doing? And then there's a few of them that are like every tournament, oh man, great job, you know, or hey, I got you this time, next time, you know, those constant rivalries that you'll have throughout the years. And then slowly you'll be able to see some of those kids, and this is the other part of jiu-jitsu, that start to either stay stagnant in one belt while you're rising to the next belt, you know, and that's where I put a lot of pressure on you, you know, to recap your year. We all know that anybody in the academy, I'm going to push you to be the best at everything you do. And sometimes I'm a little bit harder than most coaches, but I only do it genuinely with the love of what we do and for each and every one of the students. And, you know, like my own son and my wife and people I love, I tend to look past a lot when it comes time, you know, but publicly I've been told that I cannot with this young man anymore. So I'm super proud of everything that you've done because, you know, you've earned it. I've made you go up against men from the beginning of the year.
13.
You know, yeah. I mean, dude, come on. We just don't. So anyway, each and every one of our students, I try to teach them, you know, to love the game, you know, and respect the players of the game, because later on they're going to be the same people that you bump into year after year.
Year after year. So that's our
Good job, Jalen.
Yeah, good job, Jalen. That's our statistical breakdown, but just on a, you know, what'd you say, an emotional reward system?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking about not only our jiu-jitsu for a second, but we're going to talk about our kickboxers that went out this year, you know.
Yeah.
We had,
the academy overall.
Yeah, we had quite a few good, solid fights this year that stood out in mind. You didn't get to see one of them. I had to corner it. Josiah's fight.
Yep, the first time that you actually went on cornered, I was unable to go because of
a wedding.
Yeah, well, a wedding and dating my wife. So I sent you out because it was also at another friend's gym where
Steve Cologne.
Yeah, Steve Cologne's, where I already knew you'd be safe, and you know, most of our guys kind of know what they're doing already, but it also, again, allowed you to shine from a young age so that you could start to learn. I mean, your fight IQ is high enough now. Go on.
Yeah. So, anyways, we had Josiah Mert went out there. First fight, we jumped him
Josiah.
up.
Skinny, strong.
He weighed in. I think we weighed in 128, and the guy he fought weighed in 147. And we went out there, 3-round war. We backed up a little too much, so we ended up losing the split decision. But that was a tough fight. Definitely in there with the fight of the year.
Yeah.
Bishop Slayball, his fight at Arena Wars, definitely up there too.
Yeah.
He went out there, mollywopped that kid.
Yeah, definitely. He definitely.
He made him quit.
I mean, it was so bad that we were getting inboxed by the coach talking about, oh, we know he's on steroids. I was like, no, actually, if anything, he was just on an emotional high because of losing his grandma and not doing anything else, you know. So
all he does is fight.
Yeah, I mean, that's just that kid.
That's his life, is fighting.
Anybody wants a good fighter, somebody's going to put on a show, they know who to call because I got the team for that.
Yeah. Honorable, we're going into submission of the year. Three really stand out in mind. Jalen at Midwest Finishers, the Midwest Finisher Open, goes out, blue belt division, goes against really tough kid from Pico Payo, which is a really good school out of Chicago.
Yeah. Yeah, the kid was winning.
Yeah,
the kid was good. I mean, everywhere else he'd been winning all these tournaments. And
we were able to secure the takedown early on, start working a wrist, start working some good knee slice passing. We ended up subbing with, I think it was a wrist lock.
I'm not even sure now.
I'm pretty sure it was a wrist lock. So that's definitely up there. Going back to our kids, Brooklyn armbarring in like the first 9 seconds of that match at Noggin this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
balloon armbar, 9 second.
Went out there. I think that was our fastest submission of the year too. Don't check me on that. I don't have the stats in front of me right now, but
yeah. Well, that's pretty much really what we wanted to talk about was the academy and how things are going inside there. But you know, that's just for the first time through. It's not the only thing we want to do. I want to recap a little bit on our jiu-jitsu journey. You know, this year, the academy, as you heard, is having success. The kids' class is having success. Everybody's having personal success, which is beautiful. You know, and much like what Hickson has taught us, you know, we were born to fight. We trained to win, but we live to help, and that's our biggest thing. So part of our journey this year. We're going to be trying to reach out to help more people and make our academy bigger so we have more space so that we can bring in other people and help. So we look forward to the future of that. Recapping on this year, though, we had a journey. Me and my son took a journey to Texas first. To Austin, Texas, to check out some of the world's greatest jiu-jitsu players out there.
best gyms.
You know, and while we were out there, you know, we already knew most of the academies around here and most of the game, being a part of each and every one of them or rolling with them, growing up with them, training with them on the mats. we know everybody's game around here pretty much. And, you know, we all of us in this area have a certain part of our game that we keep. Like pressure is like main thing up here in the Midwest. I don't care what anybody says. Each and every one of us have a great pressure game in our area, and we've proven that by going to these other places and watching how they roll. And you know, that's one of the things I do. You can't really judge our jiu-jitsu around here going against the same people over and over and over.
Same guys 6 times.
Yeah, you know, we have to extend ourselves past that point, and that's what we have done. We have tried to do, me and my son, is take ourselves to where the champions are, be amongst the champions, train with champions. And that's what we did. We went to Texas, and you know, down there we rolled. We found a lot of good things to bring home that we added to our game. But really what I'd like to say is congratulations to the Midwest, because we're right on top of the game.
Yeah, we are.
I mean, the game really never changes. It's just key players in the game that change, and then they adapt certain things, and everybody goes, oh, this has been going on for years and years and years.
Wrestle ups.
You know, wrestling up is something that we've always done in this area. You know, you can't be on bottom, we got to get up, you know. So that was like something pounded in everybody in this area. You know, you can't be on bottom, you got to be up.
So fighting, I'd say.
Yeah, well, and I think a lot of it also stemmed from the hard-nosed people that we have in this area. You know, most of our jiu-jitsu stemmed off people who were striving to be, you know, fighters and do things. So our mentality of get off the ground and staying on top was like key, you know, and it shows in the older jiu-jitsu. And now you're starting to see some of that older jiu-jitsu emulated. You know, you're watching Gordon Ryan and everybody's going, oh my God, his pressure. And I'm going, yeah, that's the same pressure I've been seeing for years. I suffered under it. You know, he's just become really good at it, and people have become really lazy sometimes when we get on top of the game. Anyway, so I could go on for hours, and that's what this show can be about at certain times. But yeah, we've been to Austin, and we trained with, you know, Nicky Rod, Nicky Ryan,
Ethan
Krelliston, Ortiz.
Damian Anderson, we trained with him too.
Damian Anderson.
Nick Ortiz is probably the best coach, I gotta say.
Oh my
By
gosh,
far, out of every gym we've been to.
You know, and people say Nicky Rod's this big jerk off, blah blah. Man, please, I love that guy.
Nicest guy ever.
Straight up, he broke me in every way. But he was the nicest guy, breaking me in every way, and I think that's kind of what sucked at times. But dude, seriously, my hat's off down there to the B team. Training with them was great. We went over to the Danaher, but that was
Gary Thomas.
the Henzo Academy there. It was Henzo. That's where Danaher and all them guys were training at, but unfortunately they weren't there, and we got to train with Gary Tonin, which was actually very nice, because that's one of the key players that we always like to watch and get out there, and he was going over some really good triangle and armbar. Joey, what was some fancy names he was using?
Angular Sankaku.
Yeah, there you go. Sankular Kinsakos and all that good stuff. You know, that hood talk ain't for me. But, yeah, so, you know, we had a really good time out there. We got to roll. But I'm telling you, one of the baddest times I had there in Austin, Texas, we stopped into 10th Planet Austin.
10th Planet Austin.
Oh, my God. On a Tuesday, they have this 10-round Tuesday that goes on, 120, 140 people on the mat. Guys, it was sick. I would love to find this in my area right now. All the gyms come together. It's the sweatiest no-gi you have ever seen.
But
I mean, not one bad attitude. And when they did, the whole team came in collectively, approached him. He sat out for 10 minutes, came back, was right back monstering on the mat. Everybody, oh my God, the vibe was just beautiful. It was just beautiful.
Yeah, nobody had an attitude.
No,
everybody was super nice.
Ben Eddie came out and rolled. 14-year-old kids were. I mean,
we had 6-year-old kids rolling beside me and Ben Eddie, so it was like nobody had an attitude. Nobody was going too hard. Everything was real light, mellow, and nobody didn't like. If you had a question about something, nobody was like, stuck up.
No, bro, can't teach him that.
No, it was
No,
like everybody
man, it was like, hey, bro,
sharing.
I caught you in this 3 times. Let me share this with you.
Everybody was sharing.
It was
these
love.
tips
It was
and
like,
tricks and
hey, I'm definitely going back to 10th Planet,
I'd love to catch
Austin, Texas.
one of their classes too.
Yes,
because
definitely.
nobody had a bad
Ben
vibe.
Eddie, hearts out to you, bro. You know, you couldn't have been a better host either. You went right out there with my son, got on the mat. Let me video you. It is such an open, friendly environment.
And let me tell everybody something. His Hindula team is the tightest choke you will ever be put in.
Yeah.
Like, no doubt. It was... No. Like, that is not a gimmick. That is factual. That move works.
Yes. Did several IBJJFs. You know, and along our journey, Joey has also ran into people like Brad and Dante Leon. What's Brad's last name?
Brad Schneider.
Brad Schneider, who, you know, and Dante Leon. These are all guys that are true warriors. Did he?
Brad just got his black belt.
Awesome.
Yeah,
true warriors of the art, and every time we see them, there's nothing but love from these guys. And you know, that's what I love about jiu-jitsu. You're standing right next to world champions,
world-class people.
Jacob all the Couch. Time. Jacob Couch, all them guys out there.
Jacob. Shout out Jacob.
Keith and his people are freaking
all the Pedigo boys.
Great
people.
Hands out because you know we see them. I love how they keep Joey in check too when he's out in public and he wants to get mouthy.
Yeah.
Because they're all little mouthy twerps too.
Quick to smack you. Him and Spatch.
Yeah, you know. It's just really good. I just love jiu-jitsu for that fact.
Too.
You know?
Super cool guy, Heisum.
Yeah.
You know, we had kid students go to IBJJF in Chicago, and they were like, really want to take pictures with all these guys, and some of them were kind of about it, but, you know, Heisum and the Pedigo boys, they were quick to take a picture, talk to them, you know, appreciate the youth of our sport. And the Carlson Gracie, of course.
Oh, what do we call him?
The president.
The Prez.
People walk up, you know,
babies,
he kisses
babies, signs T-shirts, you know, family co-op, photo. He don't care if you're in his association. He truly loves jiu-jitsu. And that's really what it's about, you know, seriously. The thing of it is, you know, the journey is so great.
Oh, yeah.
How many sports do you actually get to sit there with the world champion? Not many, man. I think there's only like a handful, 2 maybe. You know, I think of like the Iron Man.
Yeah.
Because you can run against that world champion every year. You know, and jiu-jitsu because we're right there. Maybe wrestling, you know, but not even in boxing do you get to go against the world champion. No. I mean that's not.
It's just not. It's
not just gonna happen. You got to go through hoops and get backstage to see him. UFC world champion. Yeah, right. You better pay somebody to even and get an introduction. But yeah, jiu-jitsu is like real people doing real art, and
they're just so passionate about it.
Passionate, and I love it. Speaking of passion, you're a real dick when you're coming on and off the mat because of the passion, and that's part of the growth, that we talk about.
Yeah.
On there, that off the mat when he's not competing, he's awesome, man. That's some of the stuff we'll talk about is how our bodies change and that fire and emotion. I really look forward to these talks because just because we're talking about jiu-jitsu right now, that's my passion. It's my birthday. My birthday is also celebrates one of the most combative arts, boxing.
National Boxing Day.
National Boxing Day. We're gonna go through a bunch of that stuff. We will review fights on here. We will break down stuff that's going on. Also, we'll talk about stuff that's going on in our community. Real life stuff. I know that, we got the nosy neighbor going on. Everybody likes that.
Shout out Bobby Drew, always keeping it fun.
Yeah, there's always people on there that we can look on there and get real information super fast. Hood Talk, we could break down situations that are going on here. Maybe get into some real heart-to-heart issues and talk about those also, but also in a free form.
Yep. Have leaders from our community come on here.
Yeah, and look forward to having guest people coming on and talking. Possibly some old retired UFC people or today's modern grappling people. We got tons of connections. I'd love to get some of the community people in
here.
Fight
promoters. Love to hear what they got to say about.
Yeah.
You know.
But we will also on this YouTube channel. Be doing not only these, but you'll have a little area where you can put in comments.
Yep.
You know, you got a good
shoot us
thing.
a topic, man. We'll talk
Yeah.
about it. We're open to anything. You know,
Yeah,
as
that's
long
why
as
it's called
not
Hood
racist.
Talks. You know, it's not only because I'm talking, but it's I represent what I like to say is the true hood. You know, the kids that were never supposed to amount to anything, and you know, oh, you never can, never will. Well, here I am. I'm American. I will, and I can, and I did, and you know, that's what I like to show them. So Hood Talks is about just that. You guys are out there. You have a voice. You know, let it be heard. Like he said, you got a topic we need to talk about or address. Shoot it out there, man. Don't be scared.
Yeah. Yeah, we're also going to be reviewing pizza in the area, so keep people on the lookout for that one, too.
Pizza reviews in the local area.
As long as we're not cutting weight, you know.
Yeah.
We're always down to eat a good pizza, so.
Now, some of these subjects may be crossed into other ones, like the pizza review. We may be sitting here eating pizza while we're talking about something, talking about one pizza tastes like ass.
Yeah.
Oh, don't. What'd you say, Luigi? Oh man, don't say that. We already know who's number one Bruno around here. You know what I mean?
Baby, and Conan's if you're in Austin, Texas.
Austin, Texas. If you're a real savage, this is where you eat pizza.
Conan's.
You know, being far away from home, that's great, Joey. Way to put him out there.
Had to throw him out there.
This guy loved his pizza so much, and he was a combative fighter. He boxed, did stuff, and through high school, he worked at the place. They ended up selling. He went back and bought it. Okay, it's a great story.
We might have him on the show later, so he can tell his full story.
Later on we might go there back to Austin, Texas, and get the full story. You know, so you can check that out, or maybe even check him out on online. You know,
at Austin's Pizza.
Yeah, Austin's.
What is it?
Right here, I think.
Conan's Pizza. Look him up on Instagram. Super good pizza. Super good people.
Great guy.
Give him a follow.
Yeah, it was just great. I mean, I'm all the way in Austin, Texas. Who do I see? Somebody from Elkhart, Indiana, eating pizza in there. Had Elkhart tattooed on him. That was great. It was like a piece of home right when I needed it because I was kind of homesick and I was like,
It was our last day in Austin?
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah, so.
So I hope you like what we're going to be doing here. Yeah. Look forward to checking you out in the future. Maybe I'll shave. Maybe I won't. We also may be doing things inside the academy every now and then, shooting on here and busting out a move or something and putting it out there. Maybe tournament, you know, when we're at tournament, you guys can get to see us talking to certain celebs, getting some answers
in the game.
Okay. All right. Well, we thank you. And till next time, keep it real. Hood Talks.